Hello everyone. I thought today, let's try something new. Let's make a video. Um, yeah, it feels still a little bit awkward, but everything needs to have a first time, right? So actually the idea came because yesterday I launched my Facebook page, and um, one friend from Denmark, Malena, she asked a really good question because she asked if traveling can also be an escape. And I thought to answer this question in a video. And yeah, of course, I can only share my personal experience. So yeah, I've been traveling myself for almost 7 years, and of course, I've asked myself this question many times. And what I realized is that when I started traveling, it was in 2006. I went to Australia. The intention was for 6 months, but eventually I stayed 13 months because yeah, I really enjoyed the freedom and all the fun, and also I believe I was scared to go home, to go back home, because just before I had finished my studies, my degree, and I didn't feel ready for the real world, to to get a serious job, and I didn't know what I wanted. I was also I had just turned 21, so I was really young, and yeah. So once I came back after 13 months, I I decided, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna do another studies, a second degree, a master's. And in the meantime, I decided to work. I was working in a hostel. But then at some point, I applied to get a volunteer job at the Olympic Games in Beijing. And then I got the job, which is quite hard to get in. So I was like, okay, I must go. And then I said, okay, but if then I'm already in China, why not see more of Asia? Because instead of starting the masters, I can always do it later. So I decided to travel, and again I was gone for another year. I traveled all Southeast Asia and India, Nepal, and then I was going back, and then I was even more scared because I felt, okay, now I've been 3 years, like, how you say, like out of the normal life, and yeah, I must now to apply for a job, because if not, I can never find a job anymore, because nobody will ever take me serious again. So I decided, okay, I will make a promise with myself that I will stay in Holland no matter what, until I'm happy in Holland, because I realized otherwise I'm really running away. So yeah, I moved to Amsterdam. I started to apply for jobs, and everything seemed kind of boring. But eventually, I got a job for a recruitment office, and I started working. And yeah, I was not feeling happy there, because I got a lot of anxiety, and because I'm very perfectionistic and very ambitious, and I was like, I want to be the best of the office. And yeah, because of that, I put so much pressure on myself that I was I couldn't, yeah, I didn't feel good. And also on the side, I was working um, in a, like, in the before I started the serious job. While I was applying for jobs, I found a temporary job in a bar in the Waterhole in Amsterdam, and I really loved it so much there, because it was so much fun and great people. So I didn't want to give up this job. So I decided, once I have the serious job, I'll just go one night a week to work there, just for fun. And also I got a job. I got to work for different cooking schools in Amsterdam, and I really loved that. I discovered my passion for food there, and I decided, I will also just do this in my free time, because just for fun. But then after a month, the manager of the recruitment office, he called me to his office, and then he told me he's not going to give me a contract because he thinks I'm not ready for this job, because I cannot have other jobs on the side, and yeah, and then I really felt like such a failure. I said, what the fuck, I cannot even do this job. And at the same time, during my travels, I met a Israeli guy, and I was completely in love with him, and he also started to be more distant to me, so I was really heartbroken. And then also, yeah, I was often feeling really lonely in Amsterdam because I just moved there and I didn't have many friends there yet. So I had a really hard time, and yeah, and my self-esteem was so low, and I got so much anxiety. Like I was so afraid, and at some point I was just afraid to go out of the house. Like, and yeah, only I would feel a little bit relaxed when I was drunk, and so yeah, only partying and looking for men to forget my broken heart was was yeah, I don't know, that was really escaping. And yeah, at some point I was really so low. I didn't know what to do. I was completely lost. I didn't know. I didn't see any lights. I thought, okay, I always thought I need a career, and now I fucked it up, so that's not possible. So now I'm lost. I didn't see any other option. So I would get smaller and smaller and more depressed. And yeah, at some point it was so bad that I just decided I need help. And this was a really big step for me, because I always thought that, uh, psychologist is for crazy people, or I was very narrow-minded, or I don't know. So I was very ashamed, and but yeah, because I couldn't see any other option, I went there, and then yeah, this woman, that psychologist, she was really really nice, and then yeah, she started to make me feel normal again. And until then, I could never talk about my feelings, about my fears, with friends, with my family, with no one, because I was so blocked and so ashamed. Yeah, because nobody talked about it. It was such a big taboo. And back then I didn't know anyone who ever went to see a therapist or a psychologist, so I really thought there's something wrong with me. But yeah, nowadays I'm so happy that finally these taboos are breaking, and I realize actually to take the step to say that I need help. It's actually a very very strong thing to do. And yeah, I would recommend everyone to get over this barrier, because it's really really helpful. We don't need to do it alone. We can share, and in the end we all have the same fears. We're all afraid, we're all insecure. And whew, it's such a relief to realize this, because some years ago I thought I'm the only one. So yeah, and since then I started to feel better step by step. I started to understand a lot of things from my childhood, from yeah, things that happened, and traumas, and slowly I start to find my way. And uh, with job wise, at some point I saw how actually everything was for a reason, because I got fired in the office. But then I at some point, because I couldn't find another job, because there was no jobs, and always nobody hired me. So I I was just doing random jobs, like waitressing, and I decided I'm just gonna focus all my energy on healing myself. For 1 year, I'm not gonna think about the career. And then after 6 months, I started or I got the idea to start a cooking school, because I discovered my passion for food, and yeah, I love cooking, and I realized I'm really good at it. So I decided to organize workshops to teach people food from around the world, because I had already been to many countries and I took cooking courses, and then culture cooking started, and it was amazing. Like, it gave me so much confidence and so much fun, so much joy. Also, I made good money. And then at some point I realized that, wow, I accomplished my goal. I'm happy in Holland. I didn't run. And then I realized that I felt strong urge to be free, to travel again, to go out in the world, to learn more. And then it was a strong call from my heart, from my soul. So I decided to go for it. So I left everything behind and I got myself on a plane to India again. And that's actually when my real spiritual path started. And that was in the beginning of 2012. And since then I'm just following my heart. I don't plan, and I just let life guide me, and it's been amazing. I've learned so much, and also I had to face so many fears. I've been through so much. Like, it's like kind of I went backwards in my life, to understand everything about life. And I'm still on the spot. And but now it's not an escape anymore. Now I feel it's my path in this moment. And at some point, of course, I want to settle. I want to have a family. I'm actually longing for this, to have my own place but I know it will happen for me in the right moment. For me, all this traveling, it was surely my path to learn and to get to know myself. And then now I feel I'm starting a new chapter, to start to share everything what I experienced with others, to help others to also connect to their heart, to their dreams, because I believe in everyone there is a dream waiting to be lived. We all have a mission, and I feel my goal is to help others finding their mission. And so that's a little bit of my story. So traveling, it can be an escape, but at the other side, you can learn so much from it, because you really learn to be on your own. There's actually, if you're traveling, you cannot escape, because you have to face things. If you're home, you can always go to your friends, you turn on the TV, you go to the bar. But if you are traveling and you have a problem, you have to solve it. There's no escape. So I learned a lot from traveling. So that's it for now. And actually, I really love it when people ask me questions like this. So feel free to ask me anything. Who knows, I'll make another video. I would love to. I start to enjoy it now. And and I will always try to answer so honest as possible, and to really be vulnerable, because I believe that's really the key to happiness. So thank you very much for watching this. See you later.